Zach LaVine in the highlight. Remember, just 2 weeks ago, he hit the Lakers for 38 points. Tonight he shot 39%, 7 turnovers. He was frustrated from the start, really never got into his game. And as you kind of alluded to earlier, the Bulls could not hit threes. I mean, people talk about the Lakers hitting their threes this season. They have really good three-point defense, too. Not a real exciting stat, but the Lakers were 4th in three-point defense coming into the game. Bulls 0 for 13 from three-point range until finally getting one. Patrick Williams halfway through that third quarter. Great overall effort by the Laker D until, as you guys kind of mentioned, they got a little, kind of rested a little bit in that fourth quarter.
Jump on it, James.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one thing when you have a good defensive player on you. Most offensive players like Zach LaVine, they can counter that and get score. But when you have a whole team of collective guys, you come off one pick, Caruso's there. You come off another pick, Shooter's there. You come off another pick, Caruso's there. You go down the lane, they're taking charges. I didn't know that the Lakers lead the league in charges
22
this year. So, yeah, when you have a whole team defending you, they can shut you down. Kobe White the same way. And I think that's what the Lakers did. They created havoc defensively. You beat one guy, you got to beat 2 or 3 others. So I think when they're connected like that, they can take players out of the game. I just think, LaVine got frustrated. He couldn't get what he wanted. Every time he got, something that he thought was decent, defense just jumped on it and just swallowed them up.
Yep.
Yeah, you mentioned killing their spirit earlier, Rob, and I think you mentioned 6 charges at halftime. Teams, this is their Super Bowl, right? Especially a team like the Bulls. You got the Lakers, the champs coming into town. When the Lakers have that energy in the first half, it does send a message.
It sends a huge message, especially with a guy saying, okay, I did pretty well against him the last time.
Yeah, they felt good.
Yeah,
January 8th,
good.
2-point game.
But the Lakers remember that too. So they're going to come out and play a little bit better defense. If you watch their defense tonight, it was a swarming defense. Everybody was putting a foot in the paint. They was using their hands. They was getting deflections. And the biggest thing for me, they was boxing out and getting rebounds. When you got a team that's that active, it's hard for the other team to score because they don't know what they want to do because they're running them off the three-point line. They're driving it in. They're taking charges. So that kind of plays in your mind where you kind of skittish on what you want to do with the rock. And that proved with LaVine shooting, 29 shots tonight and not having getting his average, I should say.
Yeah. Let's see what the hardworking people in the control room came up with. Brez, they always have fun stuff for you.
What we got?
Let's see what's new tonight. There it is. Let me.
Chef AD.
Rob said, let him eat.
Let him eat.
Chef.
Feed him.
AD.
Yeah, AD did
Big
not.
Game said, Big Game said, I don't know what he had, Brez, for the home-cooked meal, but it worked.
He also was the scavenger. The scavenger that swims around in the fish aquarium and eats up everything else that's left. He got everything else that was left, too.
Yeah, remember, he did not play in that Laker game against the Bulls 2 weeks ago.
Good point.
And there was a lot of chatter after that game. The Lakers gave up 115 points to the Bulls, 38 to LaVine, like we said. A lot of talk. We've got to start playing some defense. And now it seems like almost every game they're keeping opponents maybe a little over 100 or even under 100.
They're working on that pass, man, because they get it a lot.
How was your outlet passes? Decent?
Oh, it was awesome, man. I'm probably the best at it all the time.
Dig up some video. Lakers hold Chicago to just 39% shooting. Let's hear from Frank Vogel. He's speaking with Mike and the media on the Zoom.
Hey, Frank, just such a different profile from the Milwaukee game in terms of threes versus paint points and kind of defense aside from that third quarter. What does that tell you about the team, and how did you see that play out?
Well, I love the way we approach this game. We want to continue to improve, regardless of what we want to have a growth mindset. And, we know we have to improve with our paint defense, our transition defense, and our assertiveness offensively. And we didn't shoot the ball that well offensively from the perimeter. But, when you can get to the rim, that's always the first option. And, I like the way we attack the paint offensively. And, obviously the defense in the first half was maybe as good as we've been all year. I think we took 6 charges and just an exceptional commitment to, all of our coverages and the paint first mindset.
You were asked about AD's offensive rhythm before the game, and you said that wasn't exactly a concern of yours. He comes out super efficient tonight, 37, 11 points in the paint. I suppose that's what you were, I don't want to say expecting, but can you describe how that occurred in this case?
Yeah, I mean, he just, we want to make sure we're playing through him as much as possible. And, we got a lot of new guys on this team, so there's been times early in the season where myself and even AD has been, trying to get other guys comfortable. And, we knew this week, the beginning of this trip was a time to really start, having him be more assertive. And, he didn't have a great night against Milwaukee, but the mindset was there. And, tonight, obviously he was dominant, with how he was playing. So, like I said, not something we're worried about, just something, you balance trying to get everybody going throughout the course of a long season. And, he was great tonight.
Kyle? Hey, Frank. I'm sure after tonight, you guys are still the #1 defense in the NBA. And obviously the record speaks for itself. How much of that do you think is a reflection of AD's sort of perfectionism and drive, not only to improve himself, but the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's two pieces of what you're talking about with AD. One, what he does personally on the court and the pride that he takes. But the, like you said, the perfectionist part of him, wanting to be great on that side of the ball. When your two captains are really bought in to being great on the defensive end, the rest of the group follows, and we have a lot of defensive talent. So, if we're working together and we're connected and playing with a locked-in mindset like we saw in the first half, we're very, very difficult to score against. And with the firepower that we have offensively, we'd be tough to beat. So we got to continue with that defensive commitment.
Dave?
Frank, before the game, you said that probably the top line of the scouting report is opposing teams trying to take away your transition opportunities. Is line number 2 your three-point shooting? You guys didn't shoot it all that well tonight, coming off a really strong game in Milwaukee. Was there anything schematic or pressure-wise that Chicago was doing that led to that 4 for 19 showing?
I don't think it was necessarily. I mean, Chicago played good defense. I don't think they were trying to take away our threes. They're a paint first type of defense, but their starting center was out, so they played a lot of small lineups. They started a young player at center in Gafford, and I think they were just a little bit undermanned in terms of trying to stop us at the paint. So we were able to attack, and we'll take threes when they're high quality. When the paint's taken away, we punish them with backside threes. And, we didn't really need that as much tonight with the way we were attacking the paint.
More to come on Access. Anthony Davis and the Lakers are nice.
It's all about AD. Here, passing around. Look, this is the thing you got to understand. Ball movement, player movement is the best thing to get. He goes back door. He doesn't have the shot. He kicks to KCP. KCP kicks, and it's moving the ball around. But this is the best part about it. AD recognizes there's a hole in the middle of the offense. He cuts for an easy dunk in the basket. Great pass by Dennis Dominguez. Here we on a break. It's a slow, methodical break. Here LeBron kicks it over. Now they perpetrating, penetrating, doing what they're trying to do. AD, if this was the NFL right now, because it's NFL Sunday tomorrow, he'd get fined for stomping on the logo. But right here, he says, I'm going to stomp on the logo, go middle, set you up, spin back, lay it over the left hand, bucket in the paint. Right here, we got another bucket. I'm going to go down, I'm going to stomp on your logo again, baby. I'm going to post up. This is where he likes to eat. Mid-post. He eats right here.
Chef
right now,
AD.
he's looking at the defense trying to depend on what am I going to do? He spins. You know what? I'm going to step back. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? Rook, look at the Rook. This is the biggest mistake by a rookie. You not paying attention to the best man in the world? He cuts back door, dunks it on your head. Come on, Rook. This is like, what is it? Come on, man. If it's the NFL, come on now. Right here, this is the best thing about this. Schroeder gets up above the slam dunk contest. Champion, tips it out to LeBron. LeBron puts on his Terminator vision. He looks up. He says, you know what? I got AD programmed.
Rob, he does have Terminator vision, doesn't he?
He programmed AD to run down the court. And look, Rook, come on, Rook. It's what you got to learn, Rook. You got to understand this is what the Lakers do. You got to understand the situations. Rookies get picked on so much, James. Don't pick on the Rook, man. Especially
we should have a segment, come on,
State
Rook.
like that.
Come on, Rook.
Come on, Rook.
I'd love to see Rob at halftime with a team. They're down like 17.
Like a fiery wall behind him.
Oh, you should
when
see
you gonna learn? Come on, Rook.
You should see me coaching my AAU team. Boy, get the rebound. I used to yell at him. all the time.
Old school.
Is this your idea, Rob? The fire?
Yeah, it's fire. I got some. Hey.